Everyone, a hush falls over the room. Nice sound effects.
That's right.
I get a new person to give me the finger this morning.
Oh, there it
There.
is.
Oh, good morning. Welcome to Vision. I'm so glad you're here today. I'm glad to be here today. We have a lot to celebrate. So I got to ask you, how much joy can you possibly muster up this morning? Okay, then let's stand and do that.
All right.
Celebration Singers. I love that. I just love that song. Well, you all look so happy this morning and bright and really bright and cheery. It's the song, isn't it? Absolutely, yeah. Let's pray in. Giving great thanks for the song. Giving great thanks for life, for knowing that Spirit is in, through, and around and as each one of us. We know that there is one life. It is God's. It is whole, perfect, and complete. It's the life we are living now. And that life contains all the qualities that God is. We know that they flow through us and as us into the world. So we show up doing and being the love, the joy, the peace, the power that God is. And I know that we know this for ourselves, we know it for each other, so that when we come together like this in a group, we know this too is God. I give great thanks for this day, for everyone here, for everyone in it, for those on their way, for those who might have gone to the beach this morning because it's so beautiful. For all people everywhere, we know all life is some part of the life of God, and so it is. Yeah, so September, hey, we have entered pumpkin spice latte season. Yay! I'm so excited about that. Oh my gosh, I just love that. How are you doing? How is everyone? Ready for the fall? Ready for that nice, the leaves turning and all that? No. When I moved here from New York, they said, "Why are you moving to Southern California? They don't have any seasons like they do in New York." And I said that to one of my friends out here, and she said, "Oh, we do have 4 seasons in San Diego. We have early summer, summer, late summer, and next summer." So I know we do. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I am here to tell you about practitioners. We have practitioners around the room who went to school for years in the art of compassionate listening and the science of healing prayer. I'd love for them to wave at me. Raise your hands. Ministers and practitioners. Everyone look around the room, because these are the people that are going to pray with us and for us. Yes. They are the people that pray with us and for us all year long. So know them. They'll be up at the front of the room, too, at the end of celebration. So you come up here and get a prayer. Do that. There's also a prayer request form in the bulletin. Fill it out. Put your name, put your phone number, whatever. And we'll call you at home. We'll bug you. We'll pray with you over the phone. Or we'll leave a prayer on your voicemail. However you would like to be served in prayer, we are here to do that, because we know that prayer changes things. Thank you, JPC. This is what we do. We get the prayer request forms, and then we'll call you. We'll pray on them. All the practitioners here will pray on them, and we know prayer changes things. We absolutely do. So please do that. We have also, I know, down here, don't we? Did I lose it? Disappearing minister. Here I am. With the guest packet. If you're new to Vision, if you're just visiting us, pick up a guest packet. They're on the prayer table in the back of the room, in the lobby, in the front, by the back door. They're all over the place. Pick up one, find out a little bit more about Vision, a Center for Spiritual Living. It also tells you a little bit about Centers for Spiritual Living, the worldwide movement. We've been around over 100 years. It's a new thought movement we call New Thought Ancient Wisdom, because that's really what it is. And there's a whole bunch, even though it's a tiny little guest packet, it's loaded with information. So pick one up, go through it, give it to somebody that you know and love and that want to change their lives as well. And there's a greeting. We're going to say it right now. You ready? Whoever you are and wherever you are welcome here. You are safe and you are loved. Now turn to somebody you don't know and say, welcome to Vision, glad you're here. I love it. It's just wonderful. Just love how chatty we are. I'm going to turn it over to our celebration singers under the guidance of James Vandenberg, and we're going to sing our, yay, that's right, we're going to sing our centering song and prepare ourselves for our 5-minute meditation. Take it away.
I read and know the truth for me. Truth for you. We breathe and know the truth for all. We breathe and know the truth. I breathe and know the truth for me. I breathe and know the truth for you. We breathe and know the truth for all. We breathe and know the truth. I breathe and know the truth for me. I breathe and know the truth for you. We breathe and know the truth for all. We breathe and know the truth. We breathe and know the truth. We
Good morning. My name is Marianne Downs Tanaka, and I am a licensed spiritual counselor here at Vision. Please take these quotations into your heart as we move into the silence, and allow the tones of the bowl to bring you into and out of a 5-minute meditation. Create the highest vision possible for your life, because you become what you believe. Oprah Winfrey. And from Ernest Holmes, to daily meditate on the perfect life and to daily embody the great ideal is the way to sure salvation. This is a royal road to freedom and is happiness to the soul of humans. Memorial candle is burning today for Bill Goldschneider, friend of Rich and Janet Poser. Bill made his transition this past Friday. So we just know that there's only one life, one presence, one eternal life that is everywhere, that is part of each and every one of us. There is only life, there is only presence, there is only God. And I know and accept that that presence is through me, around me, in me. And as I know it for myself, I know it for everyone here, that there is only the one presence, and we call that presence God. And so knowing that this power is running through each and every one of us, I claim that each and every one of us has access to that power, that we have access to joy, to love, to peace, to freedom, to wholeness, abundance, that is our birthright, that is what is. And I know through our word, through our prayer, that we can access all of life. And I'm knowing and accepting that this is the truth for each and every one of us. That the good that is in the universe, that is everywhere, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, that it is right here, right now, within our reach, within our grasp. And so I know the greatest and highest good for everyone, whatever is in your heart, I'm knowing the greatest good for each and every one of us here in this room, each and every one of us online, in the world. I'm knowing that life, that we have access to that life, to that power and that presence, to choose and to live and to be free. So how sweet it is to know this, how sweet it is to know and believe the truth in these words. And so I'm just so grateful that we come together here at Vision to know this truth, to celebrate this truth, to hear the wonderful words of Reverend Patti, to hear the wonderful music, to come together, to celebrate, to be with one another, and to eat together later. How sweet it is. So I just give thanks for all of this life, for all of this good right here and right now. I just let it go, knowing it's done. I say thank you, God, and so it is.
So it is. And now for something completely different. So we always have music that has words, and so that's telling you what to think and feel. And I come from a classical music tradition, and I get most of the content on the deepest level from music that doesn't have words, because you listen inside yourself. And if the music will trigger emotions in patterns that get you to get used to telling yourself the best possible story that you can tell to yourself, you know? And so I think that's the great beauty of music that doesn't have words. But it can also get boring after a while if that's not what you're suited to. So that's the reason why there's classical music and there's popular music, where the information comes to you from outside. And so we're gonna play a couple ballads right now. And I'll just say this is a concert accordion. Most people here now in America, they hear kind of idiosyncratic folk styles, like you hear Zydeco or you'll hear Norteño music through different accordions. This is the instrument that I play with the symphony. And so this is, there's like 7,000 moving parts in this thing, and it's completely built by hand. So you hear a sound out of this thing that is kind of amazing. It still amazes me after I bought this in 1996. So there's a couple songs here. One, I think, would be a celebration of relationships. This was written by Frank Morocco, the great accordionist who played for all the Disney movies and all the films. And this is a song that he wrote for his wife. It's called Ballad for Anne. So the first one, you know, just kind of think about the positive connection in your relationships. And the second one, you will recognize, is just about the beauty of life. It's called La Vie en Rose. So, and I just want to welcome Nico Hueso to playing with us. We're very lucky to have him. And the demands I've placed on the musicians for this too. They need commendation for that.
wonderfully. Thank you. So we are in a new month. Yay! Yay! Now, the month is called Transcendent Purpose. Transcendent Purpose. This is the month of September. And so today's talk is my highest ideal, because I believe that my highest ideal for my life, your highest ideal for your life, is your transcendent purpose. Right? That's what we do. We transcend from the lesser to the greater. Every time we evolve, every time we expand our consciousness, we must transcend from the lesser to the greater. And we're here to live our greatest life, right? Right? Okay. Right? Okay. We are here to live our highest and best life, unencumbered by anything that would hold us back from achieving that. And those things that tend to hold us back from achieving that are things of thought. They are things in our consciousness. They are not physical things. Remember, everything begins in consciousness. So those things that you think might be holding you back are things of thought, first and foremost. Everything begins in mind. Therefore, our purpose is to transcend from those lesser thoughts to the greater ones, to get the demonstration we desire. Ernest Holmes spoke at the Wiltern Theater way back when. This was from 1935. And he said, there is a gradually awakening in the human consciousness, a concept of itself, which is transcendent of the objective form, right? Which means, the body we're in. It's transcendent of that. Every individual who lives finds that the great within himself, herself, is immersed in God and is God, while the great mental makeup of ourselves is the result of our experience. Right? So the stuff in our head, that's usually from our experience. We come into the world. I've been watching that show called The Midwife. Anybody? Oh my God, what a wonderful show. Anyway, we come into the world like that, these little chubby little babies, whole, perfect, and complete, beautiful outpicturing of the divine in form, yelling our heads off, right? Then experience begins to inform us that we are only that which the people around us tell us we are, right? So the big grown-ups around us, they inform us who we are, and we believe them. And we take on those beliefs, whether or not they're truth, because the big people around us told us that. And so a lot of the things that we're told when we're little are survival strategies for a harsh world, superstitions of maybe the religious traditions that they are immersed in, comparison to other children. Did anybody get that, right? If you had sibs, this is the smart one, this is the athletic one, this is the one that just doesn't shut up ever, That was me. Anyway, those are family beliefs. They are not truth, right? But we take them on. And what happens is they keep us from knowing the truth for ourselves, right? That we are whole, perfect, and complete. Because the stories we get from our families are not that we are whole, perfect, and complete, that we're something less than that. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, the physical makeup is merely an image cast as a reflection into a mirror of our experience. We walk back and forth enslaved by the shadows on the walls that we have cast between ourselves and reality. Sounds very Socrates. Anyway, the shackles are phantoms. They are not real. And the truth alone has the power to strike them from us, to let the sunshine of eternal God shine through the shadows of his imprisoned soul, and by its very presence set us free. Going directly to source. And the physical life that we live is really one removed from that, right? The physical world, remember we talk about manifestation, the idea that law makes it so, and then the manifestation is what occurs in our physical world. That's the last link in the chain of manifestation. So if we want to change what's here in the physical world, we have to go back up to source, back up to cause. This is the work we do as evolving adults on this spiritual path, so that we can live our transcendent purpose, our highest and best good, our highest ideal. Or else, why are we here? Let's just all go to coffee, whatever, right? Why are we here? Why are we doing this work? It takes a lot of effort to get to effortless, right? I mean, this is the work that we do. And sometimes don't you like, oh, I just wish I just didn't even know anything and I could just blindly blast through life? No, you really don't. You really, really don't. You look at those other people doing that, you don't want that. We are here on the spiritual path of awakening to live our highest and best, to live those ideals, to live our transcendent purpose, right? Or why else are we here? Why are we here? Well, Ernest Holmes said, we're here for the delight of God. I love that. Kurt Vonnegut said, we're here on earth to fart around. Don't let anybody tell you any different. So somewhere between there and living for the delight of God, I'm assuming is our answer. But I think really it's to go back to the garden, right? That beautiful garden story in the beginning, that lovely metaphor for life. The idea that is the awakening of the truth. The awakening of the truth that we have never left the garden to begin with, if we'd only awaken to it. But we are so busy looking at the shadows on the wall, the physical life, the challenges, the conditions, rather than the truth. We get all caught up in that, thinking that's truth. So awakening is a great word for this, isn't it? Awakening is a great word. We're turning away from those phantoms, from those shadows on the wall, and coming to the truth that, well, we never left the garden after all. We're here, and we must awaken to it. We must awaken to the truth that we've been carrying around within us all along. The truth is we are divine beings living in a spiritual world in physical bodies made of spiritual matter. That's all there is spirit. That's all there is. And how delightful that is. And like I said, Ernest Holmes said, we're here for the delight of God. And it sure sounds that way. I think he got that from Sri Aurobindo, and he liked it, and so he used it. I love that. Now I said it, I can use it. Right? We are here for the delight of God, which means that life is not meant to be one endless endurance contest. Right? It's just not. We are born, Ernest Holmes said, and left alone to discover our inner divinity. And once we awaken to that, to do something creative with this one wild and glorious life that we have. And then do something else, and then do something else. Right? What is ours to do? I don't know. What is ours to do? How do we get there? How do we know if we're there, when we're there? And this is where our spiritual practices come into play. This is why we're here all together. This is why we're on this path of awakening. These are the things we do to facilitate that awakened life. Meditation. We sit in the silence, listening for that still small voice, that voice of spirit, to direct us. We are the receptive part of the divine creative process at that point. If you think about the divine creative process, remember the V, and you think about the seed, soil, plant, right? That middle part we call the soil, or the receptive, the universal receptive. When we are sitting in meditation, we take on that role. We are the universal subjective. We are waiting for the command. We're waiting for the still small voice. Let's face it, we sit on the meditation cushion waiting for nothing to happen. That's it. We get a still small voice sometimes. We hear the words. We know what our direction is. And then we do something about it. Prayer is taking the active role in the divine creative process, directing the law in this case. So then you speak from cause. You speak from cause, and you speak your word with faith and courage and conviction, and you direct the law on your behalf. You direct the law to change something in your surroundings, in your condition. And so it is, right? And that's how we end it. We direct the law, and so it is. Amen, amen, so mote it be, abracadabra, whatever you want to use, right? And you let it go. You just let it go. Whatever word you choose, it doesn't matter what word you choose, because spirit responds to your vibrational frequency and not your words. That's really all it is. And that's why all of our rules and all the dogma that religions come up with, and all of the rules around spiritual practice, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is the faith, the vibrational frequency with which it is done. Right? The faith and the vibrational frequency from which it's done. All the rules, all the regulations, facing a certain way, lighting a certain candle, kneeling, sitting, standing on one foot, whatever. None of it really matters. It is the vibrational frequency, and it is the faith. The rest of it is hokum. I don't care. Right? It doesn't matter. Ernest Holmes said this in the Science of Mind textbook. He said, if you desire to fast to be wise, or you might desire to feast to be wise. Virtue is independent of any material form which it may take. The children of wisdom, that's us. The children of wisdom look to the inner and not the outer for justification. Wisdom knows neither publican nor sinner, but is conscious only of herself, though she may dress in many garments. And here, of course, he refers to wisdom as a she, and don't we all? Sophia, in the ancient wisdom tradition, Sophia was wisdom. Anyway, he goes on to say, if one believes there is virtue in fasting, then virtue will appear to him by fasting. But if we find no virtue in fasting, feasting may be the greater virtue. We are over-concerned with non-essentials, straining at gnats while swallowing mountains of superstition. Okay, so it doesn't matter, this idea of allowing yourself to be open and receptive to God's highest voice, which means releasing things of the past, releasing superstitions, releasing fears, releasing limitations in our mind that keep us stuck in repeating and repeating and repeating the same things over and over and over again. Ernest Holmes said with consistent, I don't even remember. With what? Monotonous regularity. There it is. Monotonous regularity. We do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Isn't that the definition of insanity, right? Look, we fall in love, la, 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 and then we get our hearts broken. And we go, well, never doing that again, right? Never doing that again, because that hurt, and that was miserable. And we protect ourselves by building a nice little wall around our hearts, right? We protect ourselves. We don't let other people in. And then, of course, that means you doesn't let yourself out either, right? When you build a wall around your hearts, yeah, you don't let anybody in, but that means nothing gets out either. We have to meet a damn stonemason in order to have a relationship after that, They're the only ones that can get through the brick wall. Our earthly experiences create limitations in our mental atmosphere. See how that happens? So we go around shutting ourselves off, different parts of ourselves, in order not to get hurt anymore. We shut this part off, we shut that part off, we seal ourselves off, we protect ourselves. Which means we can no longer surrender to a moment. We can no longer surrender to an experience for fear of experiencing another negative event. We give up living the greater life. And that's really what happens. We wind up collecting fears instead of transcending them. Right? Babies are born with two fears: fear of falling, fear of loud noises. That's it. That's why they do that thing, when they're testing them, they do that, I'm going to fall thing, or loud noises, and they'll cry. Fear, loud noises, falling. That's it. That's all babies are. How many fears have you collected over your lifetime, right? Oh, my God. We get to be adults. Let's say I'm claustrophobic. I'm a fear of heights. I got a fear of noise, loud, enclosed spaces. I have a fear. We're not here to collect fears. We're here to transcend them, to live that open and wild and free life that spirit is through this body that we have on temporary loan, right? We've leased it. We didn't buy it, right? It's just leased. We give it back at the end. Ernest Holmes said, through affirmative thinking, you are able to clear your mind of these negative thoughts and fears and doubts. This you must come to do if you are going to become aware of the presence, the peace, and the harmony of God that is within you and all around you. All the good that you desire awaits your acceptance of it, but you cannot experience it while you deny it. The key to right thinking and right living is the steady, affirmative pattern of thought that only God's good enters your life. How much better would that be? Steady, affirmative pattern. Just give up the old thoughts, the limiting thoughts, the fear thoughts, the what-if thoughts. Steady, affirmative pattern. Right? And it can't be just for 10 minutes in the morning when you're doing your meditation and prayer and the rest of the day is spent in ain't it awful, right? Oh my God. Scroll through social media. You want to see ain't it awful? Holy moly. I love it, It's so great. You could just put something up so innocuous like, here's a picture of a stick. People will argue with you. It's just bizarre. It's so crazy, right? Talk about arguing over, anyway, it's just crazy. We're here to transcend that nonsense, right? We are here to transcend that nonsense, not to get caught up in the physical, ain't it awful stuff. Because remember, this is not merely a thing of mental science, although we spend most of our time there. We spend most of our time in our heads, but that's only the beginning. We have to change the vibrational frequency. We change that by consistently raising our thoughts. Consistently raising our thoughts. It is what we become after a while. We become happier people. We become more joyful people. We become more optimistic people. We become Susie Sunshine. Those people can't stand? That's us. Oh my God, you're so happy all the time. What's wrong with you? I'm happy all the time because it is what we become, not just what we think. And it begins in mind. Yes, it does begin in mind. Absolutely, because everything begins in thought. But consistent and continuous affirmations seep down into us and begin to change our lives. Change us at deeper levels. This is our path. This is our practice. We cast off the false beliefs and the limiting thoughts and the fears and the superstitions and the myths and the family rules don't wear white after Labor Day, right? We just did that one. Don't wear white after Labor Day. Does anybody even really know where that came from? I mean, it's a ridiculous thing, but anyway. It came from the Gilded Age, those women. Because they would go to the shore all summer. They'd go to Newport. They'd go to all those places, and they'd have all their summer clothes, all their whites. And they would spend the whole summer at the beach. And then when they came back, the big old trunk of all their white stuff was put away. They never took it out. That's why there was no white after Labor Day. They came back after Labor Day, no more white. But again, it's another family rule. It's meaningless. It has no meaning. It has no truth to it. Stuff we make up. That's all it is. Changing our whole being, right, back to what we truly are. Back to what we were born, right? Those babies who knew this. We cast off all of those beliefs that have kept us, up till now, have kept us from experiencing greater good in our lives. Ernest Holmes said, somewhere along the line, we're going to have to find a faith greater than all of our doubts and fears and uncertainties. Somewhere along the line, we must find a love greater than all the animosity, a peace beyond our confusion. This is the pathway we're all secretly seeking, whether we know it or not. We are being guided by a loving intelligence which evermore seeks to bring us comfort and goodwill, happiness, success, health, and abundance. And all we need to do is surrender to that, right? And everything unlike that is not the truth of us. All of these made-up rules, all of the things you were raised with in your family, all of those cultural norms, it's not the truth of us. And here's the thing, we have to lean into those false beliefs and we have to call them out for what they are. They are BS. That's it, belief systems. Fooled you. Belief systems. You know the story of the buffalo and the cow, right? You know the story of the buffalo and the cow? The storm is coming across the plains, right? And as the storm approaches, the cows see the storm and they run the opposite way. But the problem is the storm is moving in the same direction as the cows. Yeah, you see that, right? So at some point, the storm overtakes the cows, and the cows are still running in the same direction, and the storm is running with them. And they're in the storm forever because that's what they do, because they're cows. The buffalo sees the storm coming across the plains. It heads directly into it. Why? Well, it's going to get there faster, but the storm is going to pass over them faster because they're moving in opposite directions. So the buffalo is through the storm easier. That's what we need to do with our challenges. Lean into them. Lean into them. We meet them head on. Then we move through them to the sunshine quicker. That's right beyond it. Ernest Holmes said we must turn to this power that we are. Right? This power that put us here, and learn to have confidence in it. Confess our fears to ourselves before this very power, and then reach a little higher in faith than we are in fear. We discover a miracle taking place. Fears begin to recede until finally they appear only as a speck on the horizon of our minds, and then they disappear completely. We're not here to live in fear. We're here to live the whole and complete, outrageous, audacious life of God. But we have to do the work of this personal transformation. We have to lean into the fear, lean into the false, lean into the limitation, and call it out for what it is. It is an illusion of separation. That's all it is. It's an illusion of separation, something that is keeping us from knowing our good. And we must, like the buffalo, lean into the challenge. Get through it. Get to the other side where the sunshine is. And the fears of our imaginations and our illusions of separations will dissipate. Ernest Holmes said most of our fears are based in some sort of uncertainty, something that makes us feel we are not quite safe, or that we do not belong to either the society we're in or to the world in which we live. Fear takes the joy out of living, and if it dominates us, it makes everything we do ineffective. When we turn to our transcendent purpose, our highest ideal for our lives, we see there is nothing to fear. Nothing. Fear has no place in God's kingdom. And remember, we're still in the garden. We never left. Fear has no place in God's kingdom. In the transcendent attitude, we demand that Spirit reveal to us the finished kingdom through which we walk. Those were Emma's words. Reveal to me the finished kingdom through which I walk. That's our transcendent purpose, to live this whole, complete, and perfect life of Spirit as us. We choose to live this highest ideal for our lives. Choose it right now. Thank you.
Just to be revelatory here, it's very difficult for a man to kind of comprehend what pregnancy is. Although I guess that's sort of changing nowadays, isn't it? But so I put this accordion on, right? And I think I get to take this thing off at night, you know? So, because it weighs as much as a typical woman gains in weight when you're pregnant. So That was a diversion, wasn't it? So there's a composer who changed, tango came around at the turn of the 1800 to 1900 in that era, although there was like the habanero, there were forms that got morphed into the tango. And so it kind of got etched by powerful Latin personalities into this thing. And then it became kind of stable. And then there were people who were trying to knock on the door and try to change it. Well, there was this guy named Astor Piazzolla who grew up in Buenos Aires, and he had a different way of doing the tango, and it got him in a lot of trouble, but he took it very seriously. He figured, if I'm gonna mess with some cultural iconic form, I'm gonna do this well. So he went to Paris and he studied with this woman, Nadia Boulanger, the composer of, she taught Aaron Copland, she taught Leonard Bernstein, she taught Quincy Jones, she taught all the great composers of classical music in the 20th century. She was an absolute revolutionary. She got results out of people. So Piazzolla said, I'm gonna go and study with her. And he was doing his music that he was trying to do other things. She said, what do you really do? And he played a tango, and I think he played this one for her. And she said, do that. So he decided to change the tango, which meant he had to get a black belt in karate because people would chase him down. But, right, yeah. And then, of course, he becomes this giant cultural icon, and everybody loves him. At the end of his career, he becomes just this force of nature. But this is called libertango, like freedom tango. So think like defiance and exultation and joy at the same time of discovery. That's kind of what this piece is.
That was wonderful. Holy moly. Thank you so much, Mark and Nico. Oh, just lovely. And the Vision House Band. Thank you so much. And now it is time for conscious circulation. This is our idea of just jumping into the river of God's abundance and sharing and knowing that there is limitless supply forever and always for all of us. And this is our spiritual practice. So if you are giving, thank you so much. We are very grateful. That's what it is. It keeps us doing what we do here in this ministry. So let's pray. I give great thanks for abundance is God, and joy is God, and love is God, and wisdom and power and all of the qualities. And we know that they're qualities of God, therefore they're qualities of us. They flow through us and as us into the world. And I know abundance is one of them. And as we stand in the river of God's abundance, open-hearted and open-handed, we know that we accept gratefully, and we give graciously, and we remain in the flow always. With gratitude and thanksgiving, we let it be, and so it is.
As I give, so do I receive, joyfully, gratefully. As I give, so do I receive, fully, freely.
Christy for that. What am I doing? Oh, I know. There is a miracle minute. I know there was something. Did I put it in here? Didn't I? Didn't I? I thought I did. Hang on a second. I know it's in here. No, that's not it. I can't find it. Well, that's odd. You'll get it next week. I printed it off. It was in my papers, and now it's gone. Okay, well, it was from Nancy, and I'm going to have to we'll have to reveal it next week. Very odd. Okay, so we'll move right along to Here's Johnny.
It's called The Last Word. Hello, everybody online. We continue our meet and greet right after our celebration. We have a practitioner available for one-on-one prayer. Say hello. We like to say hello to everybody. In-house here today, we have the Visions Men's Circle. They meet usually on the first and third Sunday of each month. They're not meeting on the third one this month, but today they're going to be going into Marjorie's room. I think did you change the time, JP, to 11:45? So 11:45. So 11:45 in Marjorie's room. Also the prayer shawl group. You guys are getting together today too. Where's my prayer shawl group? Yep, you guys doing that today too? Yes. So they're getting together. They're getting together at 12, and they're in the back room over there. On Tuesday is the beginning of choir season again, huh? James, do you want to invite some people in?
I just want you to know you're all welcome. So we can fill this whole space. You hear that?
Change his voice.
I got it. It was me.
It was you? That's all right. We can fill this whole space, and we'll just see who comes in. No, we have a good time. Tuesday nights from 11:45. From 6:45 to 8:15, we have a lot of fun. We have some great music coming up, and I hope you'll come and join us. You just show up. Just show up.
I'm gonna toot somebody's praises here. James Vandenberg. I've worked in theater. I've worked with professional conductors, Broadway people who have won Tony Awards Broadway as musical directors and stuff. No one is better than James Vandenberg. And that proves it. So, if you have any sort of inkling, or if you're like, I don't know if I can sing or not, if you can sing if he's your musical director. That's what I'm telling you. So if you're on the fence or you need, you're insecure, I was terrified of performing. For me to put on the accordion and stare at a group of people and play many years ago, it required someone to help me build confidence, So if you want to sing, you may have a killer voice, but you may be afraid to sing. So just give it a shot. Let's have a lot of people
Absolutely.
this year.
Like Darth Vader said, come to me. I will complete your training.
Have we sold you guys enough yet on joining the choir? I'm expecting half of you on Tuesday. Wednesday evening, Gregory Page is going to be here. Gregory Page is back. He's fantastic, a musical artist. He's on his way to Norway or somebody to be with Jason Mraz. They're going to be touring together, yeah. But Gregory's going to be here with us, and one day Jason will be here. We're going to just know that. Can we put that out to the universe? Jason will be in our building one day. So we start at 7 p.m., Gregory, and playing his music, so see that. Thursday evening is the Vision Variety Show. Speaking of singing and artists, yes, all kinds of wonderful stuff. So come and be a part of it. Get a ticket. It's $20. It's the supports Vision. We have about 12, 13 acts. We've got musical stuff. We've got poetry readings, all kinds of wonderful stuff. Join us. Love to have you be a part. It's really, really fun stuff, Barbara. Thank you very much, Barbara. Barbara and I are going to have a long talk because this is the second week in a row she's said. I will be singing, as a matter of fact, so I am singing. Thank you. Barbara, you're going to pay. A week from this Monday, we have Donnell's big yacht rock concert. That is a fantastic concert. It's a 13-piece band up here on the stage. They're doing yacht rock music, which is 70s and 80s soft rock and stuff. Really cool. Donnell does a fantastic job. We're going to be filling the room up. Tickets are available in the Resource Center, right, Darlene? And also online. You can purchase them for a week from Monday. Now, Reverend Patti, you have a class starting up tomorrow night. Is that correct?
I do.
What do you got?
Change your thinking, change your life, which is really what we talked about this morning. So more of that.
That was a quick intro, huh?
That's how you do an announcement.
Thank you, Reverend Patti. James, you want to talk about roots real quick?
Exploring Roots of Science of Mind. This is really this is a Thursday morning class, 100% online, with Reverend Dr. Lori Oberly Edwards, who is online this morning. Hello, Lori. This is really following the steps, following the path of Ernest Holmes in the expanding of your own consciousness through the oneness principle of, what's his name, Emerson, the high mysticism of Emma Curtis Hopkins, and the intentional manifestation of Thomas Troward. If this sounds interesting to you, please sign up for that class. It really is a wonderful class, and Lori has a great process to help you through those processes.
Thank you, James. So, in a couple of weeks, first of all, how about Mark and Nico today? This is the first time since we started Vision that we just had musical instruments, no vocals and stuff, and I just thought it would be kind of cool to hear. First of all, they're so talented. I love what they do. Mark is so talented, and thank you guys for making it happen. Mark has got a concert coming up in a couple of weeks. Mark, talk a little bit about it real quick.
You'll hear, I'm going to be opening, essentially, for Omashar, who's from, he has that exotic name, but he's just a cool British dude. So he has performed all around the world with people like Greg Braden and what's his name, Lipton, those sorts of people. He was a neighbor of Nassim Haramein. His kid went to the same school in Hawaii. He was the musical director at the Unity in, I think, in Honolulu. So he writes metaphysical pop. So if you can imagine like the Moody Blues or something like that, but just incredible lyrics. But he also, we've had all these people here for many years with Folky Monkey and all that. He does something that is kind of astounding, and he's the most detailed one-man band with his keyboard and singing and sculpting. That's what he does. And so he is in town at this conference, and I got to know him through the Global Peace Tribe. If any of you ever watched Saturday Night Live with the Global Peace Tribe or The Awakening World with Scott Katamas, he's the house musical. He's been performing for 5 years on the show, and people haven't had a chance to hear him in a concert outside of these big events. So he's going to be here in town on Monday, and I'm going to, we're going to do kind of a intense kind of spiritual healing thing, but it's going to be fun at the same time. It's not going to be lugubrious, or it's going to be a million buzzwords that they use. So, Omashar, and we're going to have a little video of him the next couple weeks, but it's really worth coming to experience this, because you don't get to experience this any other way. There's a lot of singers and songwriters and stuff, but there's only one Omashar.
Thank you, Mark. Lugubrious. Will someone look that up for me? It's a big word that I don't know. So if you guys want to join the hospitality team, we're still looking for people to help us out. That is, making food, helping clean up, set up tables, all kinds of stuff. We'd love to have you be a part. Also, become a member of Vision. We were going to do it next week. We're doing it the week after, right? So in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a new member ceremony. We did it because there's a few of us who won't be able to make it next week. So we're going to do it in 2 weeks. So join us. It's just filling out a form saying you want to be a part of us, and we would love for you to be a part. And it's simple, it's easy, and we have you come up, and we invite you and love you. Next week, Reverend Patti's off, so we have Peter Bolin back for the first time in a long time. His talk is Transcendent Awareness. We have Andrew Anderson in the house band who's going to be with us, so good stuff. I want to welcome you also to Marcus. Reverend Marcus is continuing his Sunday mornings, 8:15 to 9:15. It's called Sunday Morning Discussions with Reverend Marcus. They're talking about all kinds of stuff, maybe science of mind stuff, the talk, anything you want to talk about that has to do with science of mind or anything like that. Come and see him Sundays, 8:15 to 9:15. So it's the beginning of the month of September. If your birthday's this month, please stand up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, September baby.
Now, the question everybody always asks, Lair, what do we got?
Carrot cake.
Carrot.
Also, I want to make a quick announcement.
Oh, boy.
Next week is Hispanic Heritage Week.
Yes.
So that means that you can bring, we are inviting you to bring dishes, not just from Mexico, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Colombia, whatever you feel. Look it up, Google it, and do something.
Don't just bring in the dish, bring the food in the dish, too. Thank you. We will do that. Yes, Hispanic Heritage Month starts on the 15th, goes from the 15th of September to the 15th of October, and we're going to stand up and do our affirmations. Yay. I'm inviting the ministers and the practitioners up to the front of the room to be ready for prayer. We have our affirmations. Woohoo! There they are. Okay, we're going to say these. They're in truth, in power, in commitment. You ready? You with me? Okay, let's do this. I am in alignment with my highest good. All I do is in alignment with the flow of life. I am a beacon of divine love on this earth. That one. We're going to do number 3 again. Okay, let's do it. I am a beacon of divine love on this earth. And yes, we are. Yes, we are. Let's pray. Oh, I give great thanks for this moment in time, for all of the love that is here, for all of the joy, for the abundance and the peace that is right here. I'm knowing and accepting that these are all qualities of God. They are qualities of us. And that as we accept and embody and embrace this truth that we are God-informed, that we are spirit flowing, that we are an activity of spirit on earth, we allow these qualities to flow through us and as us in the world, changing not only our lives, but the lives of those around us. I give great thanks for this. I know it is truth. I simply let it be, and so it is.
Judge